toilet yan. No?
Opo, we'll do that,
Chairman,
Mr. Senator.
one more time. I don't think so, Senator Pangilinan. I've been to several school buildings and I've noticed, kaya nga nakita ko to, naalala ko, na fourth floor, four-story buildings na walang toilet talaga per floor. Yeah. And you should know this.
In some buildings actually, hindi naman po lahat meron toilet.
Pero
per floor.
karamihan, pero you admit karamihan sa mga buildings na 4 stories na walang toilet per floor at nasa kabilang building or sa ibang lugar. And I've seen that for a fact. Nangyari talaga yan. Kaya sabi nyo kanina, is it because by design na sinabi ng DPWH o sinabi ng principal o sino nag-design yan, ang nagsabi niya. Pero sa akin, nakita ko talaga with my own 2 eyes, ilang buildings na napuntahan ko, elementaries, na nagbumoto ako. At talagang walang toilet per floor.
May I follow up on that? Just very quickly. That was previous constructed school buildings that Senator Raffy Tulfo is but this is a modified standard. Let's put it on record. Is it modified precisely to address the toilet issues, that the absence of toilets in 4, 3, 2-story buildings as observed by Senator Tulfo? Or is that a modified presentation now including toilets in every 2-story, 3-story, and 4-story buildings?
I'm very
Kasi nakalagay modified. So my understanding, let me just finish. My understanding is, kaya nga modified yan kasi may toilet na lahat. Yan ang pagkaintindi ko. Based on yung sinasabi ni Senator Tulfo na yung mga nakita niyang dating kinonstruct ninyo, walang toilet. So siguro dahil dyan at galing, sabi nyo, galing sa babayan, they are now requesting dapat may toilet. Tama ba yan? Yun ang paliwanag, please.
tama po yun. Particularly yung mga multi-story, yung 2, 3, at saka 4, lahat po yan may toilet na.
Sige.
At the very least sa ground floor.
We'll have Senator Lauren, and then I'm sorry, mag-stick to na ako. We'll proceed with the presentation.
It's connected to this. Can you just tell us what is the standard DepEd square meter of one classroom of a 1-story building and how many toilets? Para po maliwanag na yun po ang sinusunod ngayon. Because I heard you, sir, say that depende yan sa hinihingi ng eskwela o ng principal. There must be a template of the size of one classroom and how many classrooms for a 1-story building. You said 5 classrooms. And is this for 1 toilet or 2 toilets? So that we understand and we're on the same page. And I do not think, Mr. Chair, that it would depend on what the principal would ask for. There must be a model, a standard, which you, DepEd, follows. Can I just have that simple answer, please? Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. For sure, we have a metric that we follow. Toilet to classroom ratio. I don't have that available with me right now. But one thing for sure is that the multi-story buildings, particularly the 2, 3, and the 4, will have toilets that are made available at the minimum on the ground floor. Yes, ma'am.
My first question, sir, was how many square meters is one standard DepEd classroom? Yun muna.
Yes, ma'am. It's 9 meters by 7 meters per classroom. And then the corridors are normally 2.5 meters wide.
9 times 7 meters per classroom, 5 classrooms for a 1-story building. You mentioned that. Is that standard, or it would be dependent on the lot available? Or is a 5 classroom of 9 times 7 square meters with a 2.5 square meters corridor be the standard?
Well, in our presentation, ma'am, you will note that there are 5 classrooms for every floor. So in the single story, this pricing is based on 5 classrooms for single story, and then yung 2-story po, 10 classrooms, 3-story, 15. So 5, 5, 5. Yun po yung
So for
model.
the 5 classrooms of 9 times 7 and a 2.5 corridor, is there 1 bathroom just for single story first, so that we understand?
In some cases po, walang bathroom. That's one of the variants that we have. Because in some cases po, sometimes the space is limited. The buildable space is limited, and since usually these are in dense areas, there would be a bathroom, a toilet that is available within like very proximity, within proximity to the classroom that is to be built.
You would say that in the DepEd template, a 5-classroom single-story 9 times 7 square meters would not even allocate 1 bathroom in your model. Is that not basic to at least have 1 bathroom? Gawin mandatory na may isang banyo man lang sa isang 5-classroom single-story? Just, di ba basic?
Go ahead, Yusek.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Your Honor, the design of the department on the 5 single-story classroom has a design of a toilet at the end, either of the end of the classroom building, just to accommodate that all of the learners at 1:45 per classroom should have a toilet on that. However, there is a challenge, as ASEC AP mentioned earlier, that there might be less footprint for the buildable space within the school. So, at some point, lagi din po siyang may wash facility at meron po siyang at least 1 toilet for that. In the case of multi-story building, we prioritize the construction of a 2-story, which can either have either a toilet on each floor when available, or if not, find a place within the area proximate to that building, but so that at least merong toilet na magagamit yung mga estudyante. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Clarify. Meron pong nangyayari, nagko-construct po kayo ng 5 classroom na wala pong toilet, 2 lang lugar. Hindi po makatao yun. Yung mga bata, hindi po naman pag ang klase 5:45 magigising ng 5, 4 o'clock kasi yung iba po naglalakad pa po ng 1 oras. Tapos walang bathroom. Kaya nga we're fighting the problems of sanitation dahil ang open defecation is another sanitary issue, sanitation issue. Hindi po makatao at hindi po ako siguro papayag ng ating maski isang single story ay walang toilet. 1:45 na nga, o 45 times 5. Tapos isang toilet lang nga, nakapila na yung mga bata doon. Tapos sasabihin pa natin, optional yun, depende kung may space. I'm sorry, I don't think that is correct.
And Mr. Chair, makasingit lang, last na talaga, few seconds. Yeah, because maraming mga complaints dumating sa akin. Tama, sinabi ni Senator Legarda, pila-pila mga estudyante. Ilan bang estudyante sa isang classroom? So kung sabi mo 5 classrooms, yan, so multiply that to how many students. And then yung toilet na kinoconstruct ninyo, ang liliit. Naka-accommodate lamang ng 4 to 5 estudyante bawat toilet. So kung ang estudyante pinag-uusapan natin ay 60, paano yan? Do the math. Pila-pila na at matagal ang pila. At kaya nga dyan pumapasok again yung PTA na naman. I'll go back to the PTA. So tuwing magkakaroon ng PTA meeting, ang palaging pinag-uusapan ay kung paano tayo makapag-construct ng additional toilet.
Thank you, Senator Tulfo.
Sorry, Mr. Chair.
Actually, that's up to us, no? Nasa atin yan. We can put it as a special provision na lahat ng classroom building may toilet, no? So, I see the Chairman of Finance nodding his head. This is something that we have a solution to. ASEC AP, you may continue.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Next slide, please. Okay, so we'll just walk you through the construction process of these classrooms. No, the first step is planning and the site identification, wherein DepEd validates the school level data to determine the needs and available buildable spaces. If there's actually space for us to build the classrooms that they need. So the next step would then be the programming and budgeting, wherein our funds, the basic education facilities and the QRF allocations are endorsed to the DBM for funding release. And then we implement, DepEd and DPWH implement the project through MOA. And this one, moving forward, we also hope that the LGUs and the PPPs may serve as co-implementers under the classroom acceleration program. And then we monitor and evaluate. Our regional and divisional engineers monitor the implementation, and the findings are validated through our interagency between DPWH and DepEd site inspections. Next slide, please. So I think it was mentioned already earlier that in our current status, there are still some ongoing construction that includes carryover projects from previous funding years, no? Particularly as early as 2021. And as of July 2025, there are still several classroom construction projects that have not yet begun. Many are for mobilization and many are also under construction already. And given the limited absorption due to delays in funding release, sometimes the target dates have been extended or the construction has slowed down. Next slide, please. So for this LGU counterparting scheme, allow us to share with you some observations that we've had in the historical arrangements. No? Sometimes variations in compliance with the reporting requirements and technical specs. Sometimes the LGU is unable to communicate with us regularly the status of the project. So sometimes we don't have visibility as to what stage in the completion they are in. In some cases, projects do not necessarily fully align with our standards that we set. Okay? I suppose since the it's funded by the LGU, sometimes they follow their own specs that they want. And of course, delays are also encountered in the submission of liquidation reports, and some projects were not completed as planned, partly due to politics, changes in local leadership. Next slide, please. So these are our recommendations on the Senate Bill number 121. DepEd supports the intent of Senate Bill 121 and proposes the following implementation conditions. Number one, there has to be a clear delineation of roles and fund flow mechanisms between the stakeholders, DepEd, LGU, private sector. Number two, to require a national classroom master plan, that we all jointly agree on which direction we're headed, the actual list of schools that should be prioritized. No? And this is now being developed jointly with DPWH under the Joint Memorandum Circular 1 series of 2024. Number three, we want to encourage the implementation in GIDAs, in geographically isolated areas and depressed areas. High-density urban areas. We saw earlier that the priority of the backlog is actually in NCR and Calabar zone, and disaster-prone or disaster-stricken sites. And number four, to institutionalize a central monitoring program for all these classroom builds, regardless of funding source. Next slide, please. So other DepEd initiatives, the approval of the proposed special provision in the NEP 2026, which allows flexibility in the implementation of the school building program. Number two, update the classroom master plan using demographic considerations and projections and the prioritization index school level data under the JMC 1 series of 2024. And lastly, PPP projects. To really push for these PPP projects or LGU projects must be consolidated into a central infrastructure database to avoid duplication. And before we end, we just want to express that we are really looking forward to this bill. The DepEd really hopes to have that flexibility to entertain and diversify our school building sources or suppliers to be able to get the best quality at the best price at the most timely manner. And allow me to share with you, last month, we were in Tinalakay in your province, Mr. Chair, to receive a donation from the Rebisco Foundation. It was a 2 story, 4 classroom building with 2 toilets on the ground floor, no? And